Danny McNamara speaking on Irish TV before the Bournemouth game. Let's see what he said. Top man, Danny.
This is the IFF TV podcast.
Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. I am delighted to be joined by Millwall's Danny McNamara. After a stellar season, carrying on from last year, you got Young Player of the Year. You've been voted runner-up Player of the Year, and that was by the fans as well. The fans seem to really have adopted you. It's safe to say you're really enjoying your football at the moment, Dan.
Yeah, I'm loving my football at the moment. I played a lot of games this season. I think I played 36, 37 games now. It's been like my first proper season in the Championship. Still adapting to it, but no, it's been a great experience, and I'm loving every minute of it. Yeah,
because like you kind of broke in the back end of last season. We're kind of coming around to it because we're going to kind of go from the start of your journey, I suppose. So everyone kind of, all the Irish fans and maybe some Millwall fans as well as that, can kind of get an idea of kind of a bit about you and, you know, where you grew up and where you started playing and the clubs you played for on your way up. So when was it you started getting into football, I suppose, Dan?
Yeah, so obviously I was a young boy. I think I was about probably 5 or 6. I was just obviously loved football. Just wanted to constantly play football all the time. I ended up, so my brother's 3 years above me. So I used to go down to train with him, and I used to join in, used to do really well and stuff. And all the lads used to like buzz off me and whatever. And then it got to a point where I think I must have been about 7 or 8 years old. And I had a few options to go to a few like academies. I ended up going to Charlton when I was younger. I was there from under 8s to under 15s. Really enjoyed my time. But it sort of got to like the back end of it, 15, 16, when it started to get a little bit more serious, sort of going into the scholarship stage, and I sort of fell out of love with it a bit. It got a bit too serious, obviously dieting and stuff, and yeah, I just sort of fell out of love with it. So obviously I ended up going and play with my friends just locally, at first team level, but it was too easy kind of thing. Got to a point where I was like, right, I think I want to sort of go back into the professional side of the game. And then, yeah, I got scouted by Millwall, went on trial at Millwall, signed a scholarship there. And then, yeah, just obviously the story tells itself, really. Obviously, I've been there 6 years now, so...
Yeah, because when I look at it, like, you've obviously broken through with the 21s and stuff like that. And when you say that you kind of fell out of love with it, what was the thing that made you fall back in love with it? Was it just the fact that when you were playing with your mates that it just became too easy? Or did you just say, you know, actually there's a career here for me? Or did someone sit you down and say, you know, you've got a good chance here?
Yeah, like my dad was obviously my biggest critic, so he would tell me straight away if it was too easy for me, if he could tell that I could play a bit higher. My dad just said to me, look, Dan, listen, you're getting to that age now where you've got to decide, not decide, but just sort of come to an idea of what you want to do. I had friends playing like professional football, and I was looking at him thinking, wow, like that's quite a good job, like playing football every day. And I was like, do you know what? I just want to get back into it. Ended up getting back into it as scholar. I loved my scholarship. First year I struggled a bit, again, full time. I had football every day. Obviously it was tough. But as I matured a little bit into the second year of my scholarship, I sort of knuckled down a bit more, and I started playing a lot with the reserves. And yeah, that's when I sort of realised, right, this is what I want to be doing. This is the life kind of thing. And then just obviously went on from there kind of thing.
Yeah, I imagine it must be daunting, you know, when you're seeing like the first team. I don't know, were you a Millwall fan growing up? Because I imagine like even the Den, it sounds like a very scary place, and anyone who kind of talks about it says it's a very scary place. So was that maybe a factor as well when you're kind of thinking, oh, you know, it's a bit serious, I don't know if I want to play in that kind of, you know, that kind of area where it is very intimidating and so on. Well, obviously it's intimidating if you're the opposition team, but you know, when you were growing up, maybe there was a part of you that said, I'd love to play here one day. You were always a Millwall fan then, yeah?
Yeah, I've been a Millwall fan all my life. My family are Millwall fans. So obviously to play for Millwall, it's a dream come true. But yeah, Millwall's obviously got the reputation of being the sort of hostile ground. And it is, when the Den's rocking, it's very hostile. obviously for opposition. But I always say, like, if you can play in front of the Millwall fans, you can play in front of anyone. Because obviously they will tell you, if you're having a bad game, they will tell you. If you're having a good game, they will also tell you. But yeah, obviously a little bit of nerves and stuff. But I've settled in now, and this sort of playing at the Dens, obviously, that's what you dream for.
Yeah, well, obviously you didn't always go straight in to the Den. You had loan moves and stuff like that, which kind of prepared you for it. But just want to ask on your, you obviously qualify for Ireland. What is the connection there?
Yeah, so my dad's side are Irish. They got a lot of family in like County Longford, Edgeworth Town. So that's where my dad's side are. My dad's mum and dad are Irish. They actually live over in England now. So yeah, that's obviously how I qualify for Ireland. I sort of come into the system a bit later than what normal people do. I come in at the 21s level with Stephen. Loved my time there, loved every minute of it. I probably didn't get as much game time as I would have liked to have. But it was just a great experience being around top players, top lads, and obviously a top manager as well.
Yeah, and I look at that team, and so many of them now are playing first team for their clubs, including you. I think a lot of people actually give Stephen a lot of credit for that, because when a lot of players he was calling up probably weren't getting in at their club, and then on the back of that 21s campaign, I mean, some of the players and some of the teams we were playing and the performance we put in
just kicked on massively. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Like, sort of, there was a few lads playing, like I think Aaron Connolly and players like that were playing in the Premier League at the time, and there was a few lads sort of on the fringes, and it seemed like after our campaign, just players seemed to just sort of just push on again and kick on another level and play at the top level. And obviously it's good to see, and it's obviously a massive obviously highlight to Stephen Kenny as well.
Yeah, I think though, on that, I think it's 12 or 13 players off the back of that got became first team regulars off the back of that. You might be in that 13 now as well, I'd imagine. It could be more now, but off the back of that, none of them were regulars for the club. Obviously, I think you were out on loan, or else you were just kind of making your name at the club early doors. We'll probably come to that, but when I look at it and the players, and there's players there that have played with you previously, like I know Troy was with you for a bit last year, and just seeing those types of players who are now scoring, for the country, and they're making their names out there, that must be inspiring, I suppose, for you in a way, because you're going to see that there's a pathway there, and the fact that he knows you as well down the line, that could be a good option. And now we're kind of coming into the summer. We're about a month away, and there's Nations League games there, and there's a right wing back spot for, I would say, like, I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would say you're in a very good position to be considered. Yourself and probably Cyrus Christie are probably the two front runners for that position at the moment. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, that's my aim. Ideally, I was working really hard and trying to get into the previous games. I knew it was going to be tough, a bit too soon maybe. But I think these games coming up, I think we've got 4 games I think it is. And listen, I'm just trying to work hard every day in training, every game, just trying to be the best player, to try and get noticed, and sort of put an idea in Stephen's head, whether he wants to call me up or not. But I can only just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully that call up comes very soon.
Yeah, I think that's what they say. You should only really worry about what you can control. But obviously, you're just trying to do your best for Millwall, so that obviously takes care of itself if you can work out. But then don't worry too much as well, because sometimes with injuries and stuff like that, there's late call-ups and people come in and out of the squads, and we've seen over the last couple of years especially, there's been a lot of players who've kind of came in and came out quite late as squads and stuff like that. So I think if you're ready and able, then Steve will, I'd imagine, look to at least consider you and have you in the squad. But I think you've kind of been in this situation before with Millwall, where you probably felt like you were ready to come into the Millwall squad, and then that's where I was going to go with kind of the loans, and how did those loans go to kind of make you the player you are now, because you mentioned about the Millwall's the fans and what they're like, and if you're not playing well, I don't know if you played under them before, they let you know, but certainly this season they definitely have been very impressed with you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I went on loan to Newport. I think probably two seasons ago. The whole COVID season's like confuses everyone. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. I was 19. Went on loan to Newport. That's actually when I got noticed by Stephen Kenny. Actually, done really well there. I think I played 23 games there till January. I ended up getting called back because I had a double groin operation. So it sort of killed the rest of my season. And then the season after that, I think it was like when the COVID hit big time and like it sort of wiped out the whole season. And then I think I joined St Johnstone at the start of the following season. I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it was around September you joined till January, probably. I think something similar to that, or maybe it was October to January because the transfer window I think got extended on.
Yeah, that's it. That makes sense now. So I was there for 5 months. I think it was 6 months till January. Done really well at St Johnstone. St Johnstone was playing a 5-3-2 as well, pretty much similar to what Millwall play. And lucky enough at the time, Callum Davison was he was assistant at Millwall with Gary Rowett, so they was in good contact and stuff. So when I was there, Callum was also always giving good feedback to like Gary Rowett and how I'm doing and stuff. But yeah, I just done really well there. To be fair, I just obviously just kicked on massively. I think I got a few goals and assists, which I needed to add to my game. I sort of got noticed a bit, and then Gary Rowett called me back in January. And then I think I made my debut in the FA Cup against Bournemouth, which I thought I was going to do. And then there was a game on that Tuesday night, the game after, against Bournemouth away. And I didn't think I'd come in that soon. And the gaffer put me in. And yeah, I played really well. And I just had a run of games till the end of the season. And yeah, it was just a dream come true.
You seem to have carried that form then from obviously the manager giving you a chance and then carried that on. You know, Shaun Williams I think he was at Millwall till last season, joined Portsmouth this season. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, he was here last season and then he joined this season, Pompey. Yeah.
So he would have been a coach I think he was a coach for a little bit. He took over the coaching as well as playing. I imagine he was huge because I remember when Jason Malumbi was there the year previous, how big he was for Jason Malumbi, and Jason Malumbi couldn't have spoke more highly of Shaun Williams and how he was, and I know Troy was a fan of his as well.
Yeah, Willow was he's such a nice guy. I still chat to him now, top guy. So when I was at St Johnstone, he was obviously player coach for that season, so he was constantly watching my games back, feeding back to the gaffer. And yeah, he was just obviously telling me after every single game, he would call me or he'd text me and just give me a little sort of breakdown of how I got on, what to improve on. And yeah, me and Willow kept in contact for the whole time I was at St Johnstone. And then when I come back, he was just played an even bigger role. He was obviously on the pitch with me, so he would also always be having chats with me, letting me know what I can work on, things I should do, things I shouldn't do. But listen, I don't think there'll be anyone out there that could say a bad word about Willow. He's such a top guy, and he's had a great career in the game, and he's still going. And yeah, he's just a top guy to have around and a top guy to have as a friend. To be fair.
Yeah, it's just funny that you say that because so many people think that. And that just came into my head there of how much Jason said that that season when he was there, and Jason really got noticed off the back of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I look at this season. We just spoke about it off air. There, you're not far off the playoffs places. If things go well this week, you may, touch wood, fingers crossed, that you may get into playoff spots, which could be huge. Because I remember when the lads were at Millwall. That was the ambition was to get the playoffs most years. Because I think the budget's not as obviously big as other clubs, and Middlesbrough and stuff like that would have a bigger budget at the minute. But just got Luton and Middlesbrough. We'll probably Aaron Connolly probably won't like that, but we'll probably want them to lose for you to win. But I think otherwise, if you get that point, but it's been a really successful season, I suppose, for yourself. It's another step in the right direction in terms of your development, and again, you're getting the awards and the accolades for your performances, and anytime I see anything about you online, it's always very positive. I know, look, if I was to give you any advice, it would be to get not too high or not too low with what people say, whether it's positive or negative. But I would always say, don't take criticism off someone you wouldn't go to for advice. But it's been a really good season for you.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Obviously, I played a lot of games. I think if you said at the start of the season to finish where we are at the moment, would you take it? Or even going into the last game of the season with a chance of making the playoffs, I think like everyone would have bit your hand off. Obviously, with the budget we've got, the gaffer's brought in some really good players, like some good loanees, which have obviously helped us massively as well. But yeah, I just think we've achieved a lot this season. Whether we finish in the playoffs or not, I think we can sort of walk out of this season with our heads held high. And obviously myself as well. I think obviously I can't thank enough the coaching staff as well. I've been doing a lot of one-to-one work with Paul Robinson at Millwall. I don't know if you know him. He's played in the Premier League and stuff.
He's a former Spurs keeper.
No. There's a few Paul Robinsons. He was at West Brom, Birmingham. He's a left back.
Fullback. Left back. Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah. He played West Brom in the Prem.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah. Good player. But he's literally been with me all season, helping me out massively. And I can't thank him enough. But yeah, no, listen, we've had a good season, and whatever happens, we can walk out with our heads held high.
Yeah, well, just something you said interesting. When you were at St. Johnstone, you added goals and stuff like that. I think when you scored your first, did you score 2 in one game? Was that the same game?
Yeah, that was at Millwall. Yeah, Barnsley. That was.
What was that like? Just it wasn't that long ago. But I wasn't sure if that was your first. I wasn't sure if you had scored one last season. So you'd got the 2 in the one game. So I suppose talk me through the day, the goal, the feeling, and obviously in front of the home fans as well. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, of course. It was something that my manager and my assistant have been getting on to me about, just sort of getting on the back stick, adding some goals, assist your game. I was getting into the right areas. The ball's been falling, but sort of just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net kind of thing. And then, it come to the Barnsley game, and it was my 50th appearance, actually, that game, 50th start. And it was a big game, big atmosphere. I think it was one of them games we sort of needed to win to keep our playoff hopes alive, kind of thing. And obviously I got onto the back stick twice and put 2 away. And it was a special moment for me and my family, and obviously the fans being there as well. It was near enough a sellout as well at the game. So the atmosphere was electric as well that day. So it was a good day for me.
Yeah, well, I imagine when you're scoring the goals and stuff like that, and obviously people are saying good things about you, especially from a Millwall point of view. A lot of people are saying you're brilliant. The club, generally speaking, have been putting out very positive stuff about you more often than not, in terms of your performances and stuff like that. But obviously goals help you stand out that little bit more. So that could help your case, in terms of the playoff, the call up.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
I think if you can just keep going the way you're going, you're on the right track and you're not far away. I mean, the fact that you have age on your side kind of helps as well. Then I think that's going to be something that maybe you might just have to bide your time. But the fact of the matter is, Stephen has shown, and you've worked with him yourself, so you kind of know that he's not afraid to play young players in there, and he's not afraid to give it a go. And the fact is, the way we kind of play with the defenders and the centre backs with 3, they're all fairly experienced, which would actually be very good for you as well. So I'm hoping that you can get in there at some point. If Cyrus doesn't pip you, I hope you do get in, and I hope you get your chance, because I feel like you've earned it. We've spoken about you getting the Young Player of the Year, and we've spoken about your runner-up player of the season as well. So just before I finish, I spoke to you off air as well. I just want to speak to you about that young fan and that little viral moment that happened, from your own point of view. For fans who don't know, just run it back, will you? Tell us how it all happened.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad story, that, to be fair. So I come out the ground. It was after the whole game. It was I think it was Good Friday. I come out the ground, and there was people outside, sort of getting your autographs, taking some photos. And a little lad come up to me. His name's Benji. He come up to me and he gave me this postcard, and he said to me, "Dan, don't open it now. Open it when you get in the car, when you're back indoors." And and just just have a little look at it and see what you think. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I was sort of in a rush. I was like, all right, cheers, little man. Like, then I'll speak to you soon, kind of thing, and left it as that. Got back in the car, and I opened up the postcard, and there was obviously a letter, and it had a £20 note in it, and I was like, what's this about? And it said, I can't remember what it said now. It was like, to Danny, you're my favourite player. I've donated £20 out of my birthday money for you to give to your chosen charity. And I was proper set back by it, because you don't get many. He's 7 years old. Like, you don't get many 7-year-olds even thinking about stuff like that. And to be fair, like, when I was that age, if I was giving birthday money, I'd be going to spend it on games or PlayStation games or whatever. So obviously I was like a bit set back, and I was like, right, sort of left it. I left it about a week before I tried reaching out to the kid to find out who he was, because I wanted to just like speak to him and say thank you so much. Ended up putting it on Twitter, and it sort of blew up massively. It went viral, and I ended up finding out the little man. I got him into the training. I donated the £20 and I matched it and give it to charity, cancer research. And I say it couldn't have come at a better time, because obviously my nan's just been diagnosed with cancer. So it come at a good time for me. And then so I thought he's got to come back into the training ground and meet the lads, and just I just got to say thank you to him, kind of thing. So he come back into the training ground. The BBC come in, done a few interviews with us, interviewed Benji, and then it was the game on Saturday. I brought him into the stadium before the game, just to sort of meet the players, introduce himself, and obviously all the lads knew already what has happened. And yeah, he loved it. He was talking away and just having a bit of banter with them and stuff. And then I gave him a signed shirt, and just went and left it as that. And it was just a special moment for him and me, really. And I can't thank him enough for that.
Yeah, it's amazing how much, kids can kind of inspire you in that sense. Like, you obviously don't think of that they're thinking like that. As you said, when you're that age, you're probably thinking about going out, you're getting £20 and you might spend a bag of jellies or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
The fact that he wants to give it to charity was a lovely touch. And obviously I said it to you as well off air, I hope your nan recovers well and hopefully beats cancer, because it's such a horrible disease. Yeah. But I think what you did was lovely, and the fact that he got to come in and he got to meet the players, I'm sure that made his day as well. Not that he was looking for that, but it was a nice touch to kind of match his nice touch. Was really nice. I'm sure it's a moment he will never forget as well.
Exactly that. I think he deserved it, and the lads loved him coming in the change room and stuff. And yeah, it's special. I hope it made his day. I hope it was a special moment for him, and hopefully he can remember that for the rest of his life.
Well, hopefully now he'll inspire you to get a win on Saturday against Bournemouth. Hopefully Bournemouth have their flip-flops on, and they're after enjoying their little promotion party last night. So listen,